Right, welcome back. This is the third part of our series, and here we're going to be manipulating the loudness of this record. And the one thing that I'm looking for is, if we look at this meter over here, is my true peak. I want it to end at -1 dB true peak, but my loudness, my integrated loudness, I want that to hit around -8 if I'm lucky. Otherwise, -9 is absolutely fine. And with my short-term loudness, I want that to get into 7, up to 7.5, sometimes 7.2 LUFS. And that, I know that my loudest parts are responding as they should. All right, so let's get into it. For this, we're going to be looking at a standard clip to start. And I'm just going to make my meter visible.
If life was a you got a manager. Vince is like an Uber Beast driver when I'm the passenger. Quick on the delivery like.
Alright, so we just increased the volume by 4 dB, no processing as yet, and we're already hitting -9.7 LUFS. Okay, let's carry on.
All about Jah Luv. Red, gold and green, yeah. Jah Luv. All about Jah Luv. You're the problem in soul, yeah. Jah Luv. All about Jah Luv.
Okay, so how do I set this standard clip? Firstly, we look at a few things. My meters are hitting, input meters are hitting just over -6, so around -5 point something. So I set my clipper at around -6, and I listen if there is any distortion or not. Also, I can see the signal coming from over here. And the red parts of the signal obviously are clip parts. And I'm listening for distortion the whole time. I don't hear any distortion, so I can carry on. Now, what I've done right now is I've lifted this by 4 dB, and I have reduced the peak information by -6 dB. So 2 dB difference to the output level. So I've definitely gained 2 more decibels of headroom in the mix, which means I can go 2 dB louder in my LUFS. Let's watch. Without clipping.
Red, gold and green, yeah. Jah Luv. All about Jah Luv.
See, my new suggested output gain is almost 2 dB louder. And let's hear what this result is in the end.
Jah Luv. All about Jah Luv. Red, gold and green, yeah. Jah Luv. All about Jah Luv. You're the problem in soul, yeah. Jah Luv. All about Jah Luv.
Okay, so hitting about -7.6, 7.5, 7.4. I'm happy with that. There is something else going on. I've got a limiter here. Oh, sorry, that's a standard clip again. We can remove that one. I've got a limiter here, and we're just going to check what the action of the limiter is. I don't want anything more than 3 dB of limiting. I'm coming in at 0 into my limiter. Yes, better to come into your limiters at 0 and then start reducing your threshold, or going above the ceiling, which is what I'm doing in this case. Let's see what's happening from a limiter.
All about Jah Luv. Red, gold and green, yeah. Jah Luv. All about Jah Luv.
Okay, so this is okay. In my limiter, I'm going at around -6.7 LUFS at the loudest parts. I could reduce this a little bit and go 2 dB instead of 3, just to get a little bit more headroom and to get the master and the mix moving a little bit, so it doesn't sound too okay, check it out.
All about Jah Luv. Red, gold and green, yeah. Jah Luv. All about.
Okay, so that's hitting -1. Let's see how much we're hitting on the short term loops.
Jah Luv, all about Jah Luv. Red, gold, and green. Jah Luv, all about Jah Luv.
Nah, I want 7. So let's go back to 3. That's cool. Right, now there's a difference, right? So you're seeing -7, -6 on this side, but on this side you're only seeing -8 or -8 as it was before. That's because at the end of my chain, I've got a true peak limiter. And this is for Spotify, iTunes, whatever. You want to keep those peaks as minimum as possible. So you don't want to get those to 0. The recommended is around -1, depending on what platform you're using. I just go -1 standard. And what happens also when people are playing your music, it doesn't clip the interfaces, it doesn't clip the mixer if you're a DJ, or the amplifiers. Everything is kind of regulated and contained. There are no spikes, no peaks or anything like that. So that's the reason you're having a -6 on my limiter and a -7 on my levels meter. It's literally because I've got 1 less dB out of the mix that I'm pushing through. All right, and that's it. There you go. That's the loudness. Let's do it before and after. Here's before.
Jah Luv, all about Jah Luv. Red, gold, and green.
And after.
Jah Luv, all about Jah Luv. You're the problem in soul. Here's Jah Luv, all about Jah Luv.
And that's it. Thank you very much. Generally, when you hit -7 loops on the short term, you're going to get around -9, -8.5 in the integrated, depending on your song arrangement, of course. Thanks very much. Thanks for mastering the song with me. See you on the next one. Cheers.